We often seek moments of solitude, especially in the comfort of our homes. But what if in that silence something stirs? What if the very walls that protect us begin to speak? Or unseen eyes watch our every move? Prepare yourself as we venture into 3 chilling tales where being alone at home turns into a haunting experience. Echoes of the past. Lily's ancestral home was a sprawling mansion, standing tall amidst the forest that surrounded their small town. While the house was beautiful, it held within its walls stories spanning generations, some joyous and others eerie. Each room told a story. There was the study where her great-grandfather wrote poetry, the ballroom that had witnessed countless dances, and the gallery with portraits of family members long gone. When her parents left to care for her ailing grandmother, Lily found herself alone in the vast house. The first night went by peacefully. She binged on TV shows, savored a homemade meal, and went to bed with a contented heart. But on the second night, things changed. She was roused from sleep by footsteps echoing through the long corridor outside her room. Brushing it off as a dream, she tried to sleep but was jolted awake by the distant hum of a lullaby, one that her mother used to sing. Armed with a flashlight, she roamed the house. Reaching the gallery, she screamed. Each portrait had its eyes gruesomely scratched out. The humming grew louder, and as she turned, there stood a woman looking eerily similar to her, humming and swaying with a ghostly pallor. The watching window. Ever since Amelia moved into the century-old Victorian home, the arched window on the second floor captivated her. It was peculiar, out of place in the bedroom, with its intricate stained glass design. Every morning she would wake up to its iridescent glow as the first light of dawn filtered through it. But Amelia began to feel uneasy. Every night, just as she was about to drift off to sleep, she felt a presence. As if someone, or something, was observing her from that very window. She chalked it up to the unfamiliarity of the new house, but the feeling persisted. One evening, she invited her friend Sarah, a history enthusiast, to the house. As they ventured through its halls, Sarah was particularly interested in the window. She recounted a tale she'd read about a previous owner, a young woman named Clara. Rumor had it that Clara disappeared under mysterious circumstances, but would often be seen gazing out of that very window long after she was gone. Amelia's nights became more restless. Now, whenever she felt watched, she'd hear a soft, melodic hum, a tune that sounded eerily familiar, a lullaby perhaps from long ago. Determined to put an end to these occurrences, Amelia decided to cover the window with heavy drapes. But that very night she was awoken by a cold breeze and the haunting sight of the drapes flowing freely, the window mysteriously open, and that melancholic tune growing louder. Whispers in the walls. Leo had always been a skeptic, so when he moved into his new apartment, the stories of it being haunted seemed nothing more than urban legends. An old building, creaky floors, the usual quirks you'd expect. However, things took a strange turn one winter night. The heating was faulty, and the apartment was unusually cold. As he snuggled in bed trying to find warmth, he heard it for the first time, a faint, indistinct whisper emanating from the walls. Curious, he placed his ear against the cold plaster. Words began to form from the incoherent mumbles. "Stay warm," repeated in a loop. Puzzled, Leo researched the history of his apartment. What he found was tragic. Years ago, during a particularly harsh winter, an elderly tenant named Mrs. Crawford lived there. Due to a heating failure, she passed away in the very room Leo slept in. Out of respect, Leo placed a small heater near the spot where she reportedly died. That night, the whispers changed. Instead of the desperate plea to stay warm, he heard a soft, comforting voice murmuring, "Thank you," over and over. The apartment, though old and drafty, never felt cold to Leo again.